Okay, hi guys. How you doing? My name's Amy Shine. I'm here tonight, joined with
Tom Knapp.
Tom Knapp. So the K is silent.
I like the way that you say it, quite honestly. I
I
mean,
think Stu, my friend in
it's,
Ireland's
it's the
always
way the Dutch say it is with the K, so
I
go
always
ahead.
think Tom Knapp.
Yeah.
So okay, we're here tonight. We wanted to talk to you guys about we're talking about shopping for your reality. And so Tom and me were talking before we started this video about how, so basically, like a lot of us, a lot of the things we don't have in our life, the reason we don't have them is because we actually haven't really asked for them. Or we've asked for them, but we have loads of expectations and projections in the way that's stopping us from receiving them. So, and a lot of times is that we actually don't know what we desire. Or like you talk about, Tom, is what you're asking for really what you truly desire to ask for? A lot of times we actually don't know what to ask for, or the things we're asking for isn't what we really would like to ask for at all.
Mm-hmm.
So this is like a whole massive conversation that we're just going to give you a little peek into tonight, that we're going to get into in a telecall series, and it's called Shopping for Your Reality. And it's basically where we're starting going to use tools and a lot of home play and a lot of like exercises. We're actually going to start to go out and actually shop for what we would like to have as our reality and try on different things. So Tom started talking before the call about expectations, right? So Tom, I want to let you know, okay, I am the worst shopper in the world. Like, nobody likes to go shopping with me. Like, Mike will walk into a shop, he'll get loads of stuff, come out, and I'll walk in, I'll be in there an hour, and I'll come out with nothing. So you were talking about the expectations, and what I realized is that when I go shopping, and this is for, we're talking about shopping on the larger front or shopping just for whatever. It's like the expectation of what you think you need to get, or what you think you need to find, or what you think it needs to look like. So can you like talk to me about how you can help shopping?
It always amazes me that there's like a large constituency of women that really don't like to shop.
Oh, I hate it.
Right? Even though the media would have it that every woman would, be shopping for diamonds and Mercedes and Maserati.
I'm inclined to. It's more clothes for my body, but that's a whole different story.
Well, and one of the things that hit me when you were talking, well, actually two things. That one was, most of us, you kind of go to that idea that it is more blessed to give than to receive. So the stop for many of us is in the receiving, not so much the gifting. And if we're not willing to receive from everything, then when we go shopping for whatever it is, our ask is then tainted by our inability to receive.
Yeah.
Like years ago, a little show and tell. My wife and I were newly married, and she had two daughters, and we were doing this Christmas thing, and of course I had, like, I shop throughout the year because I don't like doing the malls right before, and I like finding gifts that are, for the individual, right? And so I had gotten all this stuff together. It, just was super excited about the way I had wrapped it and all this stuff. And then it was my turn to open a gift from one of the girls, right? And it just missed the mark, my perception of it, right? But it was also more than what I thought she should have done monetarily.
Yeah.
So I had all this running commentary of what it was, and I know even if it didn't come off my tongue, that energetically she picked up on that thing.
Yeah.
And I immediately went, right? I wasn't able to receive it. And Kim said something to me later about it, and I, of course, felt doubly bad. But I realized that I had always been a giver, a gifter, but not willing to receive. And so when we go to this thing about shopping for our reality, I could go pick out 20 things for you right off the shelf, bang, 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 right? But for me, it'd be like, okay, I can surf around Amazon for a while, but I don't want to go out in the store because I hit 20 of them before I actually bought anything. So it'd be a huge waste of time. But if we apply that over to what we're really asking for in this reality, it's the same thing. It's then where is our ask getting clouded by what we think we should be asking for rather than what we really would desire, right? As infinite beings embodied, what would we really desire to have in this reality if we could have anything that we wanted and it didn't have to look like anybody else's? Okay, I'm done.
I love it. So your asks get clouded by expectation, and then your receiving gets clouded by expectation. So it's like, I know that feeling, at Christmas when like someone gives you a present and they've spent way more money on you than you have on them. And then you're like, oh, fuck. And then you can't receive it because you go into all this judgment that they spent way more than what you spent on them. And then you go into the feeling bad and da 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 da. And that's why a lot of people don't like Christmas, because it comes with so much expectations. So it's like, if we take this back to what we're really talking about, which isn't about Christmas at all or presents, and it's about going out and like looking like, what do you desire to have as your life? And, and one of a lot is that we don't actually know. We don't know what we'd like to have. We think we want money. We think we want the cars. We think we want that. And then we get them and we're like, okay, that was fun for like 10 minutes. Now I'm bored. Now what else? And there's nothing wrong with that. And that's one of the things of shopping for your reality. And I always remember Gary Douglas, founder of Access, saying at a class one time, and it was, I had come, you understand this, Tom, from a very like spiritual, like I'd gone through, it's funny, I'd gone through like earlier on in my life, I was like always into clothes and buying nice things, all this stuff. And then like in my early 20s, I went through like self-seeking and like, AA and yoga and meditation, and really, the material things went out the door and everything went into self-development. And it was only when I found Access that I started to realize, it's actually nice to stay in nice hotels, and it's nice to wear nice clothes, and it's nice to have jewelry and all this stuff. And I had a lot of a resistance to that stuff in my world. What I didn't realize is that I had rejected that part of this reality. And I remember Gary saying, he said, I would like the best of this reality and beyond this reality. And what I realized when he said that was that what I had done, and we just talked about this, Tom, is I had rejected and resisted this reality. It was like, F you to this reality. I'm not interested in any of your material stuff, right? I want to go beyond this reality. And in that, it was almost like I was dishonoring me and my body, and I wasn't allowing my body to receive the gifts this reality had, and then also going beyond this reality and having everything beyond this reality. So it's like, what if you didn't have to reject this reality or align and agree with it, receive everything, the best of it, and also receive beyond it? Because like you said, the money isn't enough for us, and the cars aren't enough for us, and the clothes. And what if you could have all that and more?
Which is really, that's tapping into our infinite awareness, right? Our infinite knowing. Is that if we're choosing from the confines of the construct of this reality, we have no clue of what else is possible.
Yeah.
Right. So what you were talking about with what Gary was saying, that's what I just like the whole vastness opens up from, wow, what if there's a car out there that's on the horizon of being, discovered that, would just knock the socks off of anything else that you would really want in this reality that's 6 months out or whatever. But if you really are willing to be that infinite knowing that you are, that is available as well.
Yeah, that you can have it all. That you don't have to reject this reality to have infinite possibilities, to have magic, to have fun. And so that's kind of our invitation for this call, like shopping for your reality. It's like, we're probably going to dive in there and like, pull away the expectations that are clouding our ass. Like we talked about, Tom, looking at what we've decided success is, what we've decided, we need to have in order to have success. Clouding, like clearing all those expectations that are in the way of our ass and all the projections and separations. And then looking at, okay, what would you like to experience? What would you like to have? And I like using the word experience, because what would you like to experience? Because most likely you would like to experience it and then you'd like to move on to something else.
Mm-hmm.
But you got to start looking at what you would like to experience, so it opens the door to something else and something else and something else. And that's why it's called shopping for your reality. You go out, you try something on, you like it, you wear it a couple of times, then you get bored of it, you want to go buy something new. And that's, looking at what we're asking for.
Mm-hmm.
And then also taking the action to actualize that. It's not just asking, it's also action to actualize.
Right, exactly. And it was that thing that you had posted up on the event page of where you had written down in your journal just your ongoing list of things that you'd like to create. And what happens when we do that, without actually having to go out and shop, we can virtual reality shop, right? We can actually start to look at that, and is that something that is really important to me, and start to break it down from a space of choice without having to actually actualize it.
Yeah.
And then really start to take it apart. But that thing that you did by writing it down is something that I get that very few people do, right? Because that thing that we talked about at the beginning of this little blurb is that if we aren't clear what our ask is, then it's foggy. We're not writing anything down. We're not clear of what the ask is. So the universe is going, hey, I'll get back to you when you're ready to choose.
Yeah, and that's the clarity with your ask,
Mm-hmm. And if you're muddled, it's muddled.
Yeah, we talked about, your ass being clouded over, your ass being foggy, they're being wishy-washy, like the universe can't provide. And that's probably, I thought everybody wrote this stuff down. I've been doing it for years.
That's why when I pointed it out, I was like, no, not everybody does.
No, like I have journals upon journals of like ass. Like just
this is coming from the chick that can't pick anything out when she goes shopping. Which is hilarious.
That's different story. But yeah, that's a more a body thing. But the awareness in the malls. I went to my friend's house the other day, and she had like a kind of like a railing full of clothes and all color coordinated, and she just picked me out a load of stuff. Try that on. It's like, oh my God, I love you. This is the shopping I like.
Yeah, well, you go into the entity carnival when you go to a mall to try to go shopping, and you're hearing all this.
Right. I'm like, I need to go home or have a drink.
You're ready to get out of there.
So yeah, it's just going to be, just the writing it down really does start to get you clear. And then you'll be so surprised when you go look at your journal. You'll be like, oh my God, I've created nearly everything on this list already. So look, this is our invitation. We're going to explore this topic in more detail in over 2 telecalls.
And we'll be a lot more serious on the call.
Oh yeah. We'll be less serious. And and it's going to be very interactive, and lots of home play and play while we're on the call and looking at this stuff. And it starts this Friday, the 22nd, I think it is, whatever date this Friday is.
21st, maybe.
So this Friday, and what is it? $50 for two calls. It's going to be one this Friday and then one 2 weeks later. And we're going to have a Facebook group to play in as well. So if you're interested, we'll pop the link underneath, and we would love to see you.
It'll be fun.
All right, guys. Talk to you soon.
Bye.